The Senate will come to order. The senators will please take their seats. Those not entitled to the privilege of the floor will please retire to the gallery. The senators and all in attendance will stand and be led in prayer by the Reverend H. Carson Rhine, Jr., Presbytery of the James, Richmond, Virginia.
Let us pray together. God of grace and God of glory, on your people pour your power. Unleash your spirit on these lawmakers so that the right decisions can be made. Hold each person here in the palm of your hand and give them clarity of mind and compassion of heart. We pray, O God, for the fine work which is done in this chamber. We realize that with every vote, someone is not pleased. Yet give to our elected officials the wisdom so they know in their hearts that they've taken the correct action. Give them solace when the decisions are not always crystal clear. Allow them peace of mind that at the end of this day and the end of this session, it can be said, well done, good and faithful servant. We yield our hearts and souls and minds and strength to you, creator of this world, and we do so for the betterment of the Commonwealth and of your creation. Amen.
The clerk will call the roll. All those in attendance will please record their vote aye. Clerk will close the roll.
You have a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Senate Journal for Thursday, February 1st, 2018.
The senior senator from Richmond City, Senator Sturdivant, moves that the reading of the journal be waived. All in favor of the waiving of the reading of the journal will record their vote aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 31, noes 5.
Ayes 31, noes 5. The reading of the journal is waived. The clerk will report any communication from the House of Delegates. Senator from James City County, Senator Norman.
I respectfully move that we waive the reading of any communications received from the House of Delegates.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the reading of the communication be waived? All in favor of the waiving of the communication from the House of Delegates will record their vote aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 36, noes 2.
Ayes 36, noes 2. The reading of the communication from the House of Delegates is waived. Clerk will report any communication from the governor.
I do not have any, sir.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Now has come the time in the morning hour where we greet visitors here with us in the gallery. I will give my daily, gentle, friendly reminder that we will have the senators recognize the individual or group. I will then extend the warm welcome of the Senate, and we will then all clap together at the end. I'd like to begin by recognizing the junior senator from Richmond City, Senator McClellan.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise for an introduction.
Senator has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today, our prayer was given by the Reverend H. Carson Rhine, Jr., who is the General Presbyter and Stated Clerk of the Presbytery of the James here in Richmond. So on behalf of the senior senator from Richmond and the senator from Petersburg, I ask that you give him a warm Senate welcome.
Thank the senator. Would Reverend Rhine please rise in the gallery? Reverend Rhine, thank you so much for joining us here today. You are no stranger to this chamber, and you have graced us many times before. We are grateful for your powerful and beautiful prayer and for your moral leadership here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. You, of course, are welcome back anytime. On behalf of the junior and senior senator from Richmond City and the senator from Petersburg and all of us, I would ask that we join in extending the warm welcome of the Senate to Reverend Rhine. The senior senator from Richmond City, Senator Sturdivant.
Good morning, Mr. President.
Morning, Senator.
For an introduction.
Senator has the floor.
Mr. President, members of the Senate, joining us in the gallery today are members of the University of Richmond College Republicans group. I had a great meeting with several of them this morning in my office to talk about the important work that they are doing. And I think they just finished up a tour of our Capitol, and I hope we'd offer them the warm welcome of the Senate, Mr. President.
I thank the Senator. Would the members of the University of Richmond College Republicans in the gallery please rise, if you're able? A great-sized group here today. Thank you all so much for joining us. We echo the kind words of the senior senator from Richmond City about your leadership and the work that you're doing. We're very proud of your engagement here in the political process and really look forward to you taking positions of leadership going into the future. So thank you for your advocacy, for your work. Go Spiders. And I would ask everyone here to join me in extending the warm welcome of the Senate to the College Republicans at the University of Richmond. The Senator from Alexandria, Senator Eben.
Mr. President, I rise for an introduction.
Senator has the floor.
On behalf of the Senator from Arlington, the Senator from Northern Fairfax, and myself, I wanted to introduce Mr. Steve Baker of Arlington. He is originally from Winchester, but has lived in Arlington as long as I've known him. He's active in politics and civic affairs, including working on the campaigns of the Senator from Arlington and myself. So depending how you look at it, you can either thank him or you can blame him. And he's also a member of the Arlington Fiscal Affairs Committee and other community organizations. So with that, I would ask that you please offer him the warm welcome of the Senate.
I thank the Senator from Alexandria. Would Steve Baker please rise in the gallery? Steve, thank you so much for joining us here today. As the Senator from Alexandria mentioned, you have been very involved in our political and civic life in Northern Virginia and throughout the Commonwealth of Virginia for a number of years. We thank you for your leadership, for your conscientious engagement, and for all the work that you continue to do. And you're welcome here, of course, anytime in the Senate. And I would ask everyone please to join me in extending the warm welcome of the Senate to Mr. Steve Baker. The Senator from Franklin, Senator Stanley, does not wish to be recognized. Senator from Hanover, Senator McDougal.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise for purposes of introduction.
Thank you, Senator. You have the floor.
Mr. President, I refuse to yield my time to the Senator from Loudoun for this introduction. But, Mr. President, it's my great privilege to ask that you give the warm welcome of the Senate to a group of individuals in the gallery that are here to watch over the Senator from Franklin. Mr. President, he needs a lot of people watching over him, and so we're very glad that his family has come up here. In the gallery, we have his lovely daughter, Aubrey, his sons, Colin and Chandler. Colin, members might remember, was a page with us here last year, and because we've gotten a little concerned about the Senator, we're going to keep Colin around next week to work in his office to make sure he's being properly supervised. But most importantly, Mr. President, the Senator's lovely wife, Laura, is in the gallery. Laura, I think, is approaching her 21st birthday, and we're very happy that she's here to celebrate it with us. Mr. President, if you could offer them our thanks and appreciation for what they have to deal with 10 months out of the year and offer them the warm welcome of the Senate for their presence here today.
I thank the Senator. Would Laura, Aubrey, Chandler, and Colin please rise in the gallery? Thank you all so much for joining us here today. We echo the really kind and generous words of the Senator from Hanover about you and your wonderful family, and also about Senator Stanley, who we are so grateful to have here in this body. He keeps us laughing, and he advocates very passionately on behalf of his constituents and on behalf of all Virginians. And we're grateful for your sacrifice. We know what it takes for a family to allow their loved one to be engaged in this work. And happy 21st birthday to you, Ms. Stanley. We're very proud of that, and thank you all for everything you do. I would ask everyone please to join me in extending the warm welcome of the Senate to the family of our great Senator, Senator Stanley. Thank you all so much. The Senator from Prince William County, Senator McPike.
Mr. President, I rise just to note the absence of my seatmate and ask that the Journal reflect that she's away today on pressing personal business.
The Journal will so note. Thank the Senator. The Senior Senator from Loudoun County, Senator Black.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise to I ask that the journal reflect that the gentlelady from Fauquier, my seatmate, is absent on pressing personal business.
Journal will so note. Thank the senator. The junior senator from Virginia Beach, Senator DeSteff.
Mr. President, I rise for an introduction.
Senator has the floor.
Today in the gallery, we have my seatmate's brother, but more importantly, our Commonwealth attorney in Virginia Beach, Colin Stolle, who's the father of one of our pages. I would ask that, Mr. President, we offer the warm welcome of the Senate and just have to forgive the last name that there's so many Stolles around here. Thank you very much.
I thank the senator. Would a Commonwealth Attorney Colin Stolle please rise in the gallery? Thank you, Mr. Commonwealth Attorney, for being here today. We're honored by your presence, and we, as mentioned, really are grateful for your entire family and the leadership you all have provided here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. We're particularly grateful that you have lent Ian to us, and we've gotten to spend some great time with him. He is a wonderful young man and has a very, very bright future, and thank you for investing so heavily in him. And we're grateful to have you here today. You, of course, are welcome anytime. On behalf of the junior and senior senator from Virginia Beach and also Senator Donovan from Henrico, who you know very well, we want to extend the warm welcome of the Senate to Commonwealth Attorney Stolle. Do any other senators wish to be recognized for purposes of introduction? Is there any other business to come for the morning hour? Seeing none, the clerk will call the calendar.
Senate calendar for Friday, February the 2nd, 2018. Uncontested calendar, House Bill on third reading. House Bill 154, a bill relating to conformity of the Commonwealth's taxation system with the Internal Revenue Code. Reported from the Committee on Finance with a substitute.
Senator from James City County, Senator Norman.
Mr. President, I would respectfully move that House Bill 154 pass.
Would you want to move the committee substitute first?
We need to adopt the substitute.
Yes, sir.
We're in a House bill. All right. I apologize.
No worries.
Mr. President, I would respectfully move that the substitute be agreed to.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the committee substitute be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee substitute is adopted. The senator from James City County, Senator Norman.
Mr. President, would it now be appropriate to ask that the bill pass, sir?
It would. Senator, would the senator wish to explain or on
Mr. President, I think I would yield to the senator from Augusta as he has, I think, the companion
Certainly.
bill.
Senator from Augusta, Senator Hanger.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is our annual conformity bill, a little bit different this year in that the federal tax code has just been changed extensively. So what we did was conform the House bill to the Senate bill previously passed, which makes a couple areas where we deconform with federal tax policy. I hope it will be the pleasure of the Senate to pass the bill.
I thank the senator. Do any other senators wish to be heard on House Bill 154? Seeing none, the question is, shall House Bill 154 pass? All those in favor of the motion will record their vote aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 38, no 0.
Ayes 38, no 0. House Bill 154 passes.
Uncontested calendar, Senate bills on third reading.
Senator from James City County, Senator Norman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I now move that all Senate bills on the third reading on the uncontested calendar, which would include all bills on pages 2 through 10, including Senate Bill 248 through Senate Bill 946, be placed on their final passage in the block. If any senator desires to remove a bill from the block, please do so after the clerk has read the number of that bill.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the Senate bills on the uncontested calendar third reading, pages 2 through 10, Senate Bill 248 through Senate Bill 946, be placed upon their final passage in the block, with the understanding that any senator desiring a bill be removed from the block will do so after the clerk has read the number of the bill. All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is agreed to. The bills are before us in the block. The clerk will read the number of the bills.
Senate Bill 248, Senate Bill 321, Senate Bill 328, Senate Bill 336. Senate Bill 462.
Senator from Lynchburg, Senator Pete.
Yes, Mr. President, I ask that Senate Bill 336 go by for the day.
Without objection, Senate Bill 336 will go by for the day.
Senate Bill 529. Senate Bill 579.
Mr.
Senate
President,
Bill 5.
Senator from Hampton, Senator Locke.
could Senate Bill 579 come out of the block?
Without objection, Senate Bill 579 is removed from the block.
Senate Bill 584.
Mr. President.
Junior Senator from Virginia Beach, Senator DeStaff.
Can Senate Bill 584 come out of the block?
Without objection, Senate Bill 584 is removed from the block.
Senate Bill 630.
Mr. President.
Senator from Eastern Fairfax, Senator Servell.
Senate Bill 630 come out of the block and go by for the day.
Without objection, Senate Bill 630 is removed from the block and will go by for the day.
Senate Bill 651. Senate Bill 657. Senate Bill 672. Senate Bill 688. Senate Bill 722. Senate Bill 754. Senate Bill 758. Senate Bill 858. Senate Bill 887. Senate Bill 906. Senate Bill 934. Senate Bill 935. Senate Bill 946.
The question is, shall the bills in the block pass? That is all bills except for Senate Bills 336, 579, 584, and 630. All in favor of the passage of the bills will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 38, noes 0.
Ayes 38, no 0. The bills in the block pass.
Returning to page 5, Senate Bill 584. I'm sorry, Senate Bill 579.
The junior senator from Virginia Beach, Senator DeStaff.
Mr. President, I'd like to reconsider the vote by which the bill was. Whoops.
You want to do that on 584?
I do. On this one, I request passage of Senate Bill 579.
And you want to speak to the bill or explain?
Speaking to the bill. Actually, Mr. President, can we take that by temporarily?
Not for the day, but just temporarily?
Just temporarily.
Yes, Senator. Without objection, Senate Bill 579 will be taken by temporarily.
Thank you.
Senate Bill 584.
The junior senator from Virginia Beach, Senator DeStaff.
Mr. President, Senate Bill 584, I'd like to reconsider the vote by which the bill was ordered to be engrossed in advance to its third reading.
Question is, shall the vote by which Senate Bill 584 was engrossed in advance to its third reading be reconsidered? All in favor of the motion will record their vote aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their vote? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 38, noes 0.
Ayes 38, no 0. The motion is agreed to. The junior senator from Virginia Beach, Senator DeStaff.
Mr. President, I request we reject the committee amendments.
Do we first want to reconsider the vote by which the amendments were agreed to?
Yes.
Perfect.
As you were, Mr. President. I request we reconsider the vote by which the committee amendments were agreed to.
The question is, shall the vote by which the committee amendments was agreed to be reconsidered? All in favor of the motion will record their vote aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their vote? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 38, noes 0.
Ayes 38, no 0. The motion is agreed to. The junior senator from Virginia Beach, Senator DeStaff.
Mr. President, I request we reject the committee amendments.
Thank the senator. The question is, with the recommendation that it be rejected, the question is, shall the committee amendments be adopted? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The noes have it. The committee amendments are rejected. The junior senator from Virginia Beach, Senator DeStaff.
Mr. President, I request we waive the floor reading, the reading of the floor substitute.
Question is, shall the reading of the floor substitute be waived? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The reading of the floor substitute is waived. Junior Senator from Virginia Beach, Senator D. Steff.
Mr. President, I request we agree to the floor substitute, and I'd like to explain.
The Senator has the floor.
The floor substitute is major. I'm sorry. Let me start that again as you were. The floor substitute just fixes a couple of technical changes. It doesn't change the substance of the bill whatsoever. So with that, I request we agree to the floor substitute.
Thank the Senator. The question is, shall the floor substitute be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The floor substitute is agreed to. The Junior Senator from Virginia Beach, Senator D. Steff.
Mr. President, I request we engross and advance the bill to its third constitutional reading.
Question is, shall the bill be engrossed in advance to its third constitutional reading? All in favor of the motion will say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bill is engrossed in advance to its third reading. Junior Senator from Virginia Beach, Senator D. Steff.
Mr. President, I request we suspend the rules and dispense with the third constitutional reading.
Question is, shall the rules be suspended and the third constitutional reading be dispensed with? All in favor of the motion will record their vote aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their vote? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 38, no 0.
Ayes 38, no 0. The rules are suspended and the third constitutional reading is dispensed with. The Junior Senator from Virginia Beach, Senator D. Steff.
Mr. President.
Senator from James City County, Senator Norman.
I sincerely apologize to the junior senator from Virginia Beach because I had not spoken with him about this, and this was a sui sponte idea I had. If we could respectfully pass that bill by for the day, sir.
Without objection, Senate Bill 584 will go by for the day.
Returning to page, that's off for the day. Returning to page 10, regular calendar, Senate bills on third reading, Senate Bill 698. A bill relating to erosion and sediment control, inspections, natural gas pipelines, stop work instructions, emergency. We have two floor amendments.
Senator from Bass, Senator Deeds.
Mr. President, it's my understanding that some floor amendments are continuing to be evolved on both this bill and the next bill, and therefore I'd respectfully request that they go by for the day.
Without objection, Senate Bill 698 and Senate Bill 699 will go by for the day.
Senate Bill 414, a bill relating to the Micro Market Act penalty.
Senator from Hanover, Senator McDougal.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, much as Senator Servell just articulated with his, this bill is continuing to evolve. We're trying to deal with some issues, and as a result, I would ask that it go by for the day.
Thank the Senator. Without objection, Senate Bill 414 will go by for the day.
Senate Bill 168, a bill relating to electronic transmission of nude or partially nude images of minors by minors penalty.
Senator from Franklin, Senator Stanley.
Thank you, Mr. President. I hate to follow the crowd a lot of times, but I've had some questions arise from a friend of mine on the other side of the aisle, and he's asked for me to respectfully pass this bill by for the day.
Without objection, Senate Bill 168 will go by for the day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Senator.
Bill 55, a bill relating to the Department of Professional and Occupational Regulation, disciplinary actions by regulatory board.
The Junior Senator from Virginia Beach, Senator D. Steff.
Mr. President, with some questions from the other side of the aisle that we're trying to work out, I respectfully request we take Senate Bill 55 by for the day.
Without objection, Senate Bill 55 will go by for the day.
Senate Bill 213, a bill relating to public aircraft definition.
The Senior Senator from Chesapeake, Senator Cosgrove.
Good news, Mr. President. I'm ready to do this bill.
The Senator has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Bill 2, I move that the bill pass, and speaking to the bill.
Senator has the floor.
Senate Bill 213 basically clarifies that a fighter or attack jet used in service to the federal government, regardless of whether they are owned or leased by a private entity, are defined as public aircraft. There was one abstention. I'm sorry, the senator from Fauquier is not here, Senator Vogel. The only way I saw that she had an abstention, there is a Vogel Air Force Base in the Netherlands. And other than that, I can't see a reason. But I hope it will be the pleasure of the body to pass the bill.
I thank the Senator. Senator from James City County, Senator Norman. Do any other senators wish to be heard on Senate Bill 213? Seeing none, the question is, shall Senate Bill 213 pass? All in favor of the motion will record their vote aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 36, noes 0.
Ayes 36, noes 0. Senate Bill 213 passes.
Senate Bill 262, a bill relating to adoption leave benefit.
Senator from Roanoke County, Senator Suderline.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd move that the Senate pass Senate Bill 262. And speaking to that motion.
Senator has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Bill 262 creates a new classification of paid leave for state employees that adopt an infant. That's defined as a child of 1 year age or less. They would receive the same amount of paid leave as an employee who went on maternity leave. And if there's two state employees that adopt a child together, only one of them qualifies for the leave. I hope it will be the pleasure of the body to pass this bill, which also had the clause added to it yesterday. Thank you.
Thank the senator. Do any other senators wish to be heard on Senate Bill 262? Seeing none, the question is, shall Senate Bill 262 pass? All in favor of the motion will record their vote aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 38, noes 0.
Ayes 38, no 0. Senate Bill 262 passes.
Senate Bill 512, a bill relating to the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, scholastic records, student telephone numbers, and student personal email addresses.
Senator from Roanoke County, Senator Suderline.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd move that the Senate pass Senate Bill 512. And speaking to that motion.
Senator has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Bill 512 relates to the Freedom of Information Act. A lot of folks didn't know, but the personal contact information for all of our students at our universities and colleges of higher learning here in the Commonwealth was open to the Freedom of Information Act. And a lot of folks found that out when they received a whole lot of text messages this year that they did not want. So what this bill does is it exempts student telephone numbers and their personal email addresses from the Freedom of Information Act, so that they will, these are regular students just going about their lives, getting their education here at the Commonwealth. There's been some other proposals discussed this year that are a lot broader. This still makes it clear that we can acknowledge who these students are, that they're at the university, and other people can look up how to contact them in the university context, but they won't have their personal cell phone number or their personal, well, any phone number, but realistically it's their cell phone, or their personal email address open up for people to contact them that they have no interest in receiving their communications from. I hope it will be a pleasure of the body to pass the bill.
Thank the senator. Do any other senators wish to be heard on Senate Bill 512? Seeing none, the question is, shall Senate Bill 512 pass? All those in favor of the motion will record their vote aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 35, noes 2.
Ayes 35, noes 2. Senate Bill 512 passes.
Senate Bill 717, a bill relating to accident and sickness insurance rate filings, agent commissions.
Senator from Chesterfield, Senator Chase.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Senate Bill 717 pass, and speaking to the bill.
The senator has the floor.
Senate Bill 717 requires health plans to specifically report their anticipated agent commission structure along with their annual rate filing to the Bureau of Insurance. When the Bureau of Insurance reviews and approves premium rates and forms for all such benefit plans, it does not require the health plans to pay commissions, only requires that the health plans be transparent, which is important, in their insurance agent compensation plans and filings with the Bureau of Insurance. Close to 30,000 Virginians have a health insurance license. They have recently been experiencing dramatic and last-minute changes to the compensation levels from the health plans, sometimes going from straight commission or commission per contract to no compensation whatsoever, and that's after they've already done the work. Health insurance agents are customer service representatives for the health plans and work to support the individuals, small and large groups, with their health coverage decisions and relationship with the health plans. Thank you, Mr. President. I move the bill pass.
Thank the senator. Senator from Alexandria, Senator Edmond, for what purpose do you rise?
Senator would rise for a question.
Will the senator yield for a question?
I yield.
Senator yields. You have the floor.
I would just ask the senator if this in any way affects the cost of health insurance to the individual consumer or the business.
No, it does not.
Thank you.
Thank the senators. Do any other senators wish to be heard on Senate Bill 717? Seeing none, the question is, shall Senate Bill 717 pass? All those in favor of the motion will record their vote aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 32, noes 6.
Ayes 32, noes 6. Senate Bill 717 passes.
Senate Bill 869, a bill relating to education improvement scholarships, tax credits, benefits, and eligibility requirements for students with a disability.
The junior senator from Virginia Beach, Senator DeSteff.
Mr. President, I'd like to request we take Senate Bill 869 by for the day.
Without objection, Senate Bill 869 will go by for the day.
Uncontested calendar, Senate bills on second reading.
Senator from James City County, Senator Norman.
Mr. President, I rise for a very unusual motion. In light of the progress we're not making, I was going to make a motion that we pass Friday by for the day.
Let's do that on Monday. Thank the senator.
Now, Mr. President, the true laugh. I was very serious about it. Anyway, Mr. President, I respectfully move that all the Senate bills on the second reading on the uncontested calendar, which would include all Senate bills on pages 16 through 24, including Senate Bill 593 through Senate Bill 983, be engrossed in advance to the third reading in the block after the adoption of any amendments. Any senator who desires to remove a bill from the block, please do so after the clerk has read the number of that bill.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall all Senate bills on second reading on the uncontested calendar on pages 16 through 24, Senate Bill 593 through Senate Bill 983, be engrossed in advance to their third reading in the block after the adoption of the amendments thereto, and that any senator desiring to remove a bill from the block do so after the clerk has read the number of the bill. All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is agreed to.
Senate Bill 593, reported from the Committee on Commerce and Labor with amendments, and from the Committee on Finance with an amendment.
Senator from Bedford, Senator Newman.
Mr. President, I move that the amendments be agreed to.
The question is, shall the committee amendments from Commerce and Labor and from Finance be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee amendments are agreed to.
Senate Bill 27, reported from the Committee on Education and Health with amendments.
Senator from Franklin, Senator Stanley.
Thank you, Mr. President. I now move that committee amendments to Senate Bill 27 be agreed to.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the committee amendments be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee amendments are agreed to.
Senate Bill 47, reported from the Committee on Finance with an amendment.
Senior Senator from Loudoun, Senator Black.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the amendment from the Committee on Finance.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the committee amendment be adopted? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee amendment is adopted.
Senate Bill 179, reported from the Committee on Local Government with amendments.
Senator from Franklin, Senator Stanley.
Thank you, Mr. President. I now move that committee amendments be agreed to.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the committee amendments be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee amendments are agreed to.
Senate Bill 225, reported from the Committee on Education and Health with a substitute.
Senator from Franklin, Senator Stanley.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that committee substitute be agreed to.
Question is, shall the committee substitute be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee substitute is agreed to.
And from the Committee on Finance with an amendment.
Senator from Franklin, Senator Stanley.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that those committee amendments also be agreed to. Why not?
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the committee amendment be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee amendment is agreed to.
Senate Bill 465, reported from the Committee on Finance with an amendment.
The senator from Spotsylvania, Senator Reeves.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the committee amendment.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the committee amendment be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee amendment is agreed to.
Senate Bill 538, reported from the Committee on Local Government. Senate Bill 560, reported from the Committee on Finance with a substitute.
Senator from Augusta, Senator Hager.
The substitute be agreed to.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the committee substitute be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee substitute is agreed to.
Senate Bill 573, reported from the Committee on Finance. Senate Bill 622, reported from the Committee on Local Government with amendment.
Senator from Eastern Fairfax, Senator Surville.
Mr. President, I move the committee amendment.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the committee amendment be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee amendment is agreed to.
Senate Bill 636, reported from the Committee on Finance with amendments.
Senator from Henrico, Senator Donovan.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the committee amendment be agreed to.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the committee amendments be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee amendments are agreed to.
Senate Bill 871, reported from the Committee on Local Government. Senate Bill 894, reported from the Committee on Finance with a substitute.
The senior senator from Virginia Beach, Senator Wagner.
Mr. President, I move the adoption of the committee substitute.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the committee substitute be adopted? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee substitute is adopted.
Senate Bill 937, reported from the Committee on Finance with an amendment.
The senior senator from Richmond City, Senator Sturdivant.
Mr. President, I move the committee amendment be agreed to.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the committee amendment be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee amendment is agreed to.
Senate Bill 983, reported from the Committee on Privileges and Elections with a substitute.
Senator from Rockingham, Senator Obenshain.
Mr. President, I would ask that this bill come out of the block and by for the day before the adoption of the committee substitute.
Without objection, Senate Bill 983 will come out of the block and go by for the day before the adoption of the substitute. Question is, shall the Senate bills be engrossed in advance to their third reading? That is all bills except for Senate Bill 983. All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bills are engrossed in advance to their third reading.
Regular calendar Senate bills on second reading. Senate Bill 569, a bill relating to the Department of Professional and Occupational Regulation, Board for Contractors, exemptions from licensure. Reported for the Committee on General Laws and Technology, and there is a floor substitute.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The junior senator from Virginia Beach, Senator DeSteff.
There was some concern from my friend from Eastern Fairfax yesterday, and I believe it was referred to as the doctrine of the last antidote. So we resolved that. However, Mr. President, there's still additional questions from my friends on the other side of the aisle, so I'd like to take that by for the day.
Without objection, Senate Bill 569 will go by for the day.
Senate Bill 625, a bill relating to consumer finance companies' loans licensing. Reported for the Committee on Commerce and Labor with a substitute.
Senator from Eastern Fairfax, Senator Surville.
Mr. President, I ask the bill by for the day. Deal with some more questions.
Without objection, Senate Bill 625 will go by for the day.
Senate Bill 44, a bill relating to Kinship Guardianship Assistance Program. Reported for the Committee on Finance with amendments.
Senator from Arlington, Senator Favola.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the amendments be agreed to.
Question is, shall the committee amendments be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee amendments are agreed to. The senator from Arlington, Senator Favola.
Thank you, Mr. President. I now move that the bill be engrossed in advance to its third reading.
Question is, shall the bill be engrossed in advance to its third reading? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bill is engrossed in advance to its third reading.
Senate Bill 159, a bill relating to the Commonwealth's lien for payment of medical services limitations, reported from the Committee on Finance with an amendment.
Senator from Roanoke City, Senator Edwards.
Mr. President, I move that the bill go by for the day without dealing with the amendments.
Without objection, Senate Bill 159 will go by for the day prior to the adoption of any amendment.
Senate Bill 211, a bill relating to comprehensive plans, groundwater, and surface water, reported from the Committee on Local Government.
Senator from King George, Senator Stewart.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the bill be engrossed in advance to its second reading. Third reading, I'm sorry. Third reading.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the bill be engrossed in advance to its third reading? All in favor of the motion will say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bill is engrossed in advance to its third reading.
Senate Bill 371, a bill relating to recreational facilities, regulation of activities, liability of localities, reported from the Committee on Local Government.
Senator from Russell, Senator Chafin.
Mr. President, I move that the bill be engrossed and advanced to its third reading.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the bill be engrossed in advance to its third reading? All in favor of the motion will say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bill is engrossed in advance to its third reading.
Senate Bill 378, a bill relating to coal tax credits, reported from the Committee on Finance.
Senator from Russell, Senator Chafin.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that this bill also be engrossed and advanced to its third reading.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the bill be engrossed in advance to its third reading? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bill is engrossed in advance to its third reading.
Senate Bill 429, a bill relating to local regulation of solar facilities, reported from the Committee on Local Government with a substitute.
Senator from Franklin, Senator Stanley.
Thank you, Mr. President. I now move the committee substitute be agreed to.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the committee substitute be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee substitute is agreed to. The senator from Franklin, Senator Stanley.
Thank you, Mr. President. I now move that we engross and advance Senate Bill 429 to its third reading.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the bill be engrossed in advance to its third reading? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bill is engrossed in advance to its third reading.
Senate Bill 451, a bill relating to localities' authority to require abatement of criminal blight on real property, reported from the Committee on Local Government with a substitute.
Senator from Prince William County, Senator McPike.
Mr. President, I move the committee substitute be agreed to.
Question is, shall the committee substitute be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The committee substitute is agreed to. Senator from Prince William, Senator McPike.
Mr. President, I move that the bill be engrossed and advanced to its third reading.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the bill be engrossed in advance to its third reading? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bill is engrossed in advance to its third reading.
Senate Bill 726, a bill relating to certification for use of cannabidiol oil or THCA oil, reported for the Committee on Education and Health with a substitute, and from the Courts of Justice Committee with a substitute, and from Finance.
The senator from Henrico, Senator Donovan.
Thank you, Mr. President. With the recommendation that we reject the substitute from the Committee on Education and Health, I move the substitute.
I thank the senator. With the recommendation that it be rejected, the question is, shall the committee substitute from Education and Health be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The noes have it. The committee substitute is rejected. The senator from Henrico, Senator Donovan.
Thank you, Mr. President. With the recommendation that we move the substitute from the Courts of Justice, I request we move that substitute.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the substitute from the Courts of Justice Committee be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The substitute from the Courts of Justice Committee is agreed to. Senator from Henrico, Senator Donovan.
Thank you, Mr. President. I now move that we engross and advance to the third reading this bill.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall Senate Bill 726 be engrossed in advance to its third reading? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bill is engrossed in advance to its third reading.
Uncontested calendar Senate bills on first reading.
Senator from James City County, Senator Norman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I now move all Senate bills on the third reading on both the uncontested and regular calendar, which would wrong button. Mr. President, I now move that all the Senate bills on the first reading on both the uncontested and regular calendar, including all Senate bills on pages 30 through 42, including Senate Bill 57 through Senate Bill 969, that the rules of the Senate be suspended and that the first constitutional reading of the titles be dispensed with.
I thank the senator. The question is, shall the rules be suspended and the first reading of the titles of Senate bills on the uncontested and regular calendars, pages 30 through 42, Senate Bill 57 through Senate Bill 969, be dispensed with? All in favor of the motion will record their vote aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 38, noes 0.
Ayes 38, noes 0. The reading of the titles is dispensed with. Senator from James City County, Senator Norman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would now move that all of the bills which find themselves on the second reading be passed by for the day.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the Senate bills on the uncontested and regular calendars now on second reading be passed by for the day? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bills will go by for the day.
Returning to page 5, Senate Bill 579. No, sorry.
Yep.
Yes,
That's right.
579.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The junior senator from Virginia Beach, Senator D-Staff.
Mr. President, I'd like to request that we accept the amendments from Finance.
Senator, this one's on third reading, so this will be passage. You move to pass?
As you were. I request we pass this bill, this fine bill.
Do you want to speak to it?
Speaking to the bill, Mr. President, let me find this one again. Sorry.
Page 5. No, you're fine.
This bill uses EITC credits and actually expands the use of the EITC credits from 200 to 300% for those special needs children with an IEP. That's pretty much it.
Right. Thank you so much, Senator. Do any other senators wish to be heard on Senate Bill 579? Seeing none, the question is, shall Senate Bill 579 pass? All in favor of the motion will record their vote aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their vote? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 20, noes 18.
Ayes 20, noes 18. Senate Bill 579 passes. Senator from James City County, Senator Norman.
Thank you, Mr. President. Inquiry of the clerk. Does that complete today's calendar?
Yes, sir.
Mr. President.
Thank the senator. Is there any other business to come before the Senate?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator, James City County.
Mr. President, our committee system this year has been working with significant efficiencies and expediency. It's not always to the satisfaction of all of us, but we really have moved along substantially. I was advised this morning that Rehabilitation and Social Services has completed all of their Senate bills and actually has done, I think, about 7 House bills. So we're making progress. Where, Mr. President, we do not seem to be quite as efficient is on the floor, and an inordinate number of bills are being passed by for the day. And it does challenge me to believe that all of a sudden, as we sit here on the floor, that someone realizes that a bill needs to be tweaked. I get it if the numbers on the floor don't look exactly right, because I do kind of pay attention to that. But thus was not the situation this morning. So I just really would encourage everyone to try on Monday to have these bills that were passed by for the day to be in a form that we can deal with, because we may have to stop being so generous on passing bills by the day. And I don't mean that from a partisan standpoint. I mean that absolutely on an ecumenical approach.
Thank the senator. Do any other senators wish to be recognized? Is there any other business to come before the Senate? Seeing none, the clerk will report any announcements on the desk.
Today, Monday, February 5th, not today, the Committee for Courts of Justice will meet at 8 a.m. in Senate Room A in the Pocahontas Building. The Commerce and Labor Subcommittee on Electric Utility will meet at 10 a.m. 5th floor Subcommittee Room number 1 in Pocahontas. Senators Norman, Saslaw, Stanley, Chafin, and McDougall. The Republican caucus will meet at 11:30 a.m. in Senate Room 2. The Democratic caucus will meet at 11:30 a.m. in Senate Room 1. And you have 12 shopping days until the 14th. Weekend weather report. This weekend, precipitation is expected to develop across the region Saturday night and continue through Sunday, bringing the potential for snow and freezing rain before changing to all rain. Freezing rain is expected in Lynchburg, Salem, Culpeper, and Northern Virginia districts. Freezing rain will last for about 3 to 4 hours with a light glaze possible. Snow chances will be greatest in Bristol, Salem, Stanton, and Northern Virginia, where around 1 to 3 inches of snow through Sunday afternoon are possible. Mainly rain is expected in Richmond, Hampton Roads, and Fredericksburg. Drive friendly.
Thank you so much, Madam Clerk. Senator from Bedford, Senator Newman.
Mr. President, I move that the Senate do now adjourn until 12 noon Monday.
Thank the senator. The question is, shall the Senate stand adjourned until 12 noon on Monday? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The Senate stands adjourned until 12 noon on Monday.